thought I'd show everyone the beach where I come out to get my driftwood. It's about a mile walk from public parking to where the driftwood really piles up good. And there's a lot of driftwood out here. This beach here has eroded quite a bit, where the trees have been fallen over because they don't have support anymore from the beach being eroded out from under them. So whenever the trees fall, obviously they get tossed in the surf and broken to pieces, and those pieces are available to be picked up and used for arts and crafts. And so this is where I come. We got a tropical depression coming in today, so I get the whole island to myself for the most part, which is great. It's a nice walk along the beach with a little bit of drizzle and some pretty good ripping surf out here today. The driftwood, like I said, it piles up thick up here. It's just amazing, the opportunity to find driftwood like this. And then with a mile walk in to get it and a mile walk out carrying the driftwood, it's a pretty good workout too. But today I caught it. I knew it was high tide, but it's going out. I'm hoping within the 10-15 minute walk here to the driftwood, hopefully the tides drop down enough by then that I'll be able to access up into the woods there and get the driftwood out. And if not, I can walk on the floating trees because they're plentiful up here. It's just amazing what the erosion's done and how the trees fall. Obviously the tide's pretty high. I had to catch a rock so I didn't get wet. Right now the jellyfish are in really thick. And with this surf being so strong today, they're getting tossed on the beach pretty bad too, which is good in a way. It's sea turtle breeding time right now too, so the sea turtles are in eating the jellyfish, and the jellyfish are everywhere. It's a lot of erosion. This used to be a road here actually. There used to be houses along here, or little bungalows they're elevated 15 feet, but years ago they were washing away after storms, and the state came in and finally tore down the last one. But the remnants of the road and debris from what used to be here long before the erosion kind of wiped everything away. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I mean, the erosion's natural, obviously, and things change, but the rate this beach is getting eaten up, but hard to say how long it'll be here. Right over this tree line here, you see it kind of, there's just a thin stretch of trees, and then behind that is a pretty good sized lagoon back in there. So once this beach erosion hits that lagoon, it's going to jump back another 100 yards of loss of beach right there, and once that break happens. But in the meantime, it is loaded with driftwood. You can see the trees here, how they're getting washed out by the roots, and compromises them until they fall over and get bashed against the shoreline and turn into driftwood for you. And it's neat too how these trees have been just washed out from below, just holding on by the roots at this point. See there, those are trees that have gone. Those are just the root bulbs there and the roots hanging into the ground. But the driftwood, like I said, it's plentiful. Almost to the point it's hard to find the piece you're looking for. You get it's like looking for snow in snow, you know. There's just so much that your eyes are easy to pass right over a piece you were looking for. Because I'm here specifically for driftwood to make fish and sailboats out of. So the driftwood's my base, and then I add metal to it. And So I'm looking for specific shapes and types of driftwood. And when there's so much, like I said, it makes it hard to see the piece that you recognize as something, which is a lot of fun of coming out here and looking for driftwood, is seeing that thing, the potential in a piece of driftwood is a lot of fun of the search here. And I come here a lot. I'm out here particularly today because of this tropical depression's in, and it's really got the ocean ripping today. So when it rips like this, it really pushes the trees around and it clears off a lot of debris and opens up a whole new world of driftwood that was buried yesterday is now exposed for you. But it's neat. It's a really neat landscape with all the beach going and the roots of the trees still remaining. And some of it's just beautiful wood too. You'd love to be 15 foot tall and strong enough to carry a whole root bulb out of here. There's so much wood in them, but you have to settle for these piles, which are plentiful. There's just piles and piles and piles of driftwood. Like I said, and you keep your eyes open for the piece you're kind of looking for, and when you see it, you grab it. You don't carry it down the beach too far. I got a system where I'll find a couple root bulbs that I'm familiar or remember, and I'll leave my piles as I go, and then when I come back through, pick them up and carry them out with me rather than carry them in and out. Obviously, the only risk of that is someone else coming along and taking your pile, which it happens just because this is a pretty well-known spot. I know several other craftsmen that come in here for the driftwood also, and we're all familiar with the same landmarks, and it's just such a enticing place. You got to come here if you're looking for driftwood, obviously. But that's all. I just wanted to share this ripped up beach, and like I said, today with the overcast and the jellyfish plume coming through, and the remaining trees just holding on, just trying not to get knocked over today. But you can see the driftwood is a pretty good pile. And then the existing stuff here too, it's just, gosh, you want it to break. At the same time, you want it to stay. You want it to break little by little because you don't need a whole lot at one time. So it kind of regulates your bounty. You get what you need that day, and there's more going to break off tomorrow, and it's always replenished for you. So when you come back, there's more driftwood, and so it's a good deal. And to be honest with you, usually I come and I get way more I'm going to need. I got piles of it at the house now, and I know when I picked up that piece that's at the house, I saw something in it, and I just can't resist coming back out and getting more and more and more, and this pile grows and grows and grows. And but this is a lot of the fun of doing crafts with driftwood, is getting the driftwood. But you can see it's ridiculous. I don't know of any other place around with such driftwood opportunities. Like I said, it's been raining most of the last 2 days here because of this tropical depression coming through, so the wood's all wet, which makes it a little harder. You don't quite, like, you see the grain in a different way when it's wet. It's got a darker tone to it, and you see the irregularities in the wood, which is enticing, and it's like, it's such a beautiful piece of wood. You get it home and it dries out and it's just a piece of wood again. It's like, oh, dang it. But with some stain, or even just a tin of stain and some lacquers and stuff, you can get the color back out of them again. But anyways, this is my demolition area of fallen trees, beach erosion, and driftwood. I'm gonna walk up here another couple hundred yards, and we're got a couple I've seen here on this little walk that I'm gonna grab on the way back through. But like I said, these root bulbs, they're just, the wood in those is so pretty. And you just wait it out. Maybe next time that piece that I see off that root bulb will be broke off and piled up here on the beach waiting for me. Or because, I mean, you could bring a saw back here and start cutting away, but you really don't need to. There's so much already on the ground, and once it hits the ground and starts to rot, it's got a limited time before you get it picked up and off the beach again, before it's useless. So I feel to come cut off the stuff that's elevated and up in the air and still going to last another couple years before it gets into the rot would be just wasteful. Again, this is some of the old road that is obviously unusable at this point in life. It goes all the way down the beach. It goes all the way to the end down here. But the sea has reclaimed her. Well, that's all though. Get me some driftwood and get out of this drizzle and get home and maybe start some projects.